Is up, everybody? We are back with another Halo Flashpoint video. Today we are doing my second game using the ODSTs, and we decided to test them out in Big Team Battle Assault. This is one of the new game modes added in the latest update, so we wanted to try it out, and we wanted to try it out with the ODSTs. So if you haven't played Big Team Battle, it's a bit different to normal Flashpoint in that there are no respawns, and you have limited items and limited weapons, but you also get a bigger team size. So in this case, we are doing 400 points. For Assault, both teams have a bomb. You have to pick up your bomb and carry it into the opponent's deployment zone. If you manage to keep it there for 3 activations, for each activation, the bomb gains 1 arm token. Once it gets to 3 arm tokens, it detonates and you win the game on the spot. Just as in my last video, I'm using BTB proxies for my models until I get my official ODST models. And with that, we'll go through my list. So this list was made quick and dirty, but I'll go through it nonetheless. So we have the Dream Team, Sergeant Buck and Captain Dare. Dare is holding a repair field. I had 2 ODST captains with SOCOM pistols. 1 is with a repair field. I had 1 ODST Special Purpose Trooper with DMR, and he is given a Spanker upgrade because the model I have is holding a Spanker, so I had to give him it. I had 2 more Special Purpose Troops with BR-55s. 1 is holding a Spike Grenade, and the other is holding a Frag Grenade. I have ODST Air Assault Bullfrog with MA-40s, and then I have 2 ODST Bullfrogs with SMGs. And then for Special Orders, I have Hot Drop, I have Your Orders Have Changed, and I have Supply Drop. And then for my Command upgrades, I have 1 Permanent Command Dice upgrade, and 3 Single-Use Command Dice upgrades. I made the list to just maximize the models the best I could, so I didn't take too much in the way of upgrades. I spent points on 2 repair fields, just in thinking that in BTB mode, repair fields would be good because you could heal up damaged models and potentially get more use out of them. And that was before I realized ODSTs fold like paper mache in a hurricane. For command dice, I ended up on 10 base command dice with 3 single-use command dice. And I used all my single-use command dice in turn 1 just because I didn't want to keep track of them. Now we'll go on to the Banished list. So the Banished had a Elite with a Energy Sword, an Elite with a Needler, they had Atriox himself, they had a Sniper with a Shock Rifle, they had a basic Berserker, they had a Chosen Warrior with a Sentinel Beam, they had a Warrior with a Commando, they had the Special Orders of Defiance and Rampage, they had the Command Upgrade Single-Use Command Dice for the entire game, they had Extra Weapons Disruptor, Fuel Rod Gun, and a Spike Rifle. And they had just a whole bunch of items, being 2 overshields, 2 active camos, 1 explosive ammo, 2 thrusters, 1 quantum translocator, 1 threat sensor, 2 grapple shots, and a health pack. I'm not going to go through specifically what each model is holding because I might just end up getting it wrong. I think if you look at the photo close enough, you could probably tell what model is holding what. But all in all, they ended up with 7 models of kitted out Banished. So this game mode played out pretty differently compared to the last one, and we'll go through that right now. So UNSC rolled to go first, so we did all the deployment stuff, but then that's where we start to differ. So I rolled my command dice, and with 13, I managed to roll my 4 hot drops I needed. Because I was going first, I had the opportunity to drop into good spots and fire my ODSTs first in an Alpha Strike wave. I made full use of the hot drop to deploy into the enemy's deployment zone, because hot drop doesn't have any requirements that you can't deploy into the enemy's deployment zone. Just that you can't be in a cube with an enemy. So I put them right in the deployment zone, able to clear shot any number of models. 3 out of the 4 ODSTs managed to make it down in good shooting positions, but only 1 failed, and that 1 just so happened to be Buck, who was dropping into the mid-board to try to pick up a needle rifle first turn to make full use of his fast transition. So he ends up pinned in the middle. So for my first activation of the game, my BR ODST, who is worth 25 points, and had the 4-point frag grenade, clear shot kills a brute with a fuel rod and thruster pack for 47 points total traded. So basically I put a ODST out in the open, but I managed to trade him up for a brute with a fuel rod, which is a much better trade in my opinion. I then also used the shoot dice to frag a Elite and a Berserker, who both end up losing all their shields and getting wounded and pinned into the enemy deployment zone turn 1. So basically my 1 ODST killed 1 guy, pinned 2 others, completely slowing down that section of the board. It's now onto the Banished, and using their special order, they manage to unpin their Berserker using their special order, and in retribution, they charge and kill my pinned buck in the mid-board. ODST's spirit is unbroken, however, and they took their vengeance, with my DMR ODST with the Spanker opening up with a shoot dice, so 2 Spanker shots. I kill a brute sniper holding a threat sensor and explosive ammo, as I was scared that the sniper could use the threat sensor on my back line to maybe reveal dare to the rest of the enemy team and have her killed. And then using the shoot dice, I shoot and kill the wounded elite who was holding the overshield and active camo. So that's now a 34-point ODST, killing a 42-point brute plus a 50-point elite. So I'm trading very well at this point in the game. The Banished then use a move dice to charge their Sword Elite forward into the center building, killing my unactivated ODST that was getting ready to do the 3rd round of Alpha Strike shooting, and then they use cloaking to hide. My ODSTs move up and kill the exposed brute Berserker that had killed my buck, leaving the Banished with only 3 models left at this point. But one of those models is H-Yux. H-Yux, in classic cunning fashion, sees the way to snatch victory from defeat. He charges forward, snatching the bomb and moving across the entire board into the ODST deployment zone to start arming the bomb. He does this with a thruster, a grapple, a move dice, and his normal sprint for a total of 5 movement in 1 turn. The ODSTs are then less scrambling, as they have to try to take out H-Yux before he can arm the bomb. And with combined fire from Dare and an ODST with the SOCOM pistols, they manage to take him down, getting into prime shooting positions with clear shots and optics, but both having to use 2 shoot dice. So if you keep track, that is 4 total shoot going into H-Yux to take him down. But meanwhile, H-Yux managed to put 2 activation markers on the bomb, meaning that it only has 1 more needed to activate. However, with H-Yux taken down, there is only 1 brute left to activate, who activates in the brute backline. That is the warrior chosen with the sentinel beam, who climbs up and kills an ODST on the left flank, instantly incinerating them with the sentinel beam. And with that done, that is the end of round 1. The total casualties for round 1 are 3 ODST dead for 5 banished, leaving the banished on only 2 models left. The cloaked elite in the middle, and the brute chosen warrior with sentinel beam in the backfield. The ODSTs are spread out across the board for the most part, but they do have quite a few models in their backline still, with a total of 8 ODSTs left. Having not lost much of the command squad, ODSTs still get 9 command dice in the 2nd round, and they also are able to steal first turn a 2nd time. With the Sword Elite cloaked in the middle, the ODSTs only have limited options, knowing that the Sword Elite could potentially move up and pick up the bomb, and then would be very hard to kill. In hindsight, there are better plays that I could have made to deal with this, which I'll go through after I finish up this round. But for now, my DMR ODST with the empty Spanker crouches and shoots the last remaining brute using a shoot die to kill them with their DMR. Now, only the cloaked elite is left, and the opponent uses a thruster pack plus move die to pick up the bomb while remaining cloaked for 4 movement. The ODSTs only have 1 activation left to kill the bomb carrier, otherwise it will go off and the banished will win. But the elite is camoed, meaning with the new way active camo works, it is a -2 to shoot them. The ODSTs have no frag, no knockback, and the elite may evade after being shot. In this game mode, rapid fire does not force the bomb to be dropped like in Oddball, so that is not an option. With not many choices left of them, the ODSTs rely on luck. They move up a ODST with SMG, hoping the weight of fire plus optics is enough to take out the elite. They manage to get a clear shot, meaning that negates the -2, leaving the SMG ODST on 5 dice. 3 base, 1 for height, 1 for optics. The SMG ODST opens up and manages to strip the shields down to 1. The elite now evades and is unable to get out of line of sight fully, but is able to negate the clear shot. The ODSTs use a shoot dice and fire again. No success. The elite lives on 1 wound and in a blaze of glory detonates the bomb, killing itself and winning the game.
Game over.
Now, I think there was a better play in the scenario that I could have used. I could have put an ODST onto the opponent's bomb. I can't pick up or interact with the bomb, but that means the elite would have to have dealt with my ODST before they could pick it up. If they charge into the cube with the ODST, that initiates a free assault. Because they've done an assault, that ends their movement, meaning they can no longer pick up the bomb. In addition, because they've done an assault, they lose their camo. That also means I can then shoot them pretty easily. So for me, it's a win-win, as I either have to shoot or plasma grenade my ODST camping the bomb, and then that gives me the opportunity to shoot the elite back, or they charge and kill the ODST on the bomb, and then they still are left without camo, meaning it's much easier to kill them. All I gotta say is hindsight is 20/20. It would have been a good play at the time, but I didn't realize until later. So for the final analysis of the game, this game mode went very quick. It's very lethal the way it got played, with the game ending in round 2, being even quicker than the first King of the Hill game. ODST Hot Drop in Big Team Battle is crazy, with the ability to trade up your glass cannon ODSTs for much more expensive units. This may work less well against more durable Spartans, who are more likely to survive the ODST shoot actions, and therefore are able to blunt the ODST alpha strikes, but that will require more games to determine whether or not that is actually true. The inability to have the bomb dropped from anything but killing makes the mode a bit hard, especially for models like Chief and Atriox, who are both hard to kill. Chief especially could easily pick up the bomb and be in the enemy deployment zone round 1, and being so hard to kill may lead to an easy win for a Chief heavy list. I think another thing this game mode made me start to consider is the thruster grapple combo. I know everyone loves the grapple thruster combo, but I really feel like it invalidates movement considerations and tactical planning when models can just haul ass 6 cubes across the board most of the time. That would be 3 sprint, 1 grapple, 1 thruster, 1 move dice, which is pretty easy to do in pretty much every list. I think in future updates I'd like to see the thruster maybe changed to not give a move, and might be better to do something like give a model evade. I think that would just slow down models a bit. As I said, I didn't really put a lot of thought into my Big Team Battle ODST list, but in the future I think a Covenant Carbine would be a good buy for a backline ODST. This could potentially help push models out of my spawn if this scenario ever came up again. That is because the Covenant Carbine has the knockback keyword. And in the case that you don't play an assault game mode, ODSTs are still pretty good at shooting, so they could still make good use of Covenant Carbine as it's an overall good gun to begin with. This could easily be achieved in the list I played, as you could just drop the 2 repair fields, both of which I didn't end up using anyway, and after some experience I've kind of realized they're a bit worthless on ODSTs, as ODSTs just tend to die anyway. But I am done with this quick battle report. I hope you enjoyed it. I've got more videos coming out soon, going over the new changes and other things like that. So stay tuned if you want to see some of them. Thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Make sure you let me know if you have any thoughts on the new ODSTs and how they've been playing for you. And I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.